You can still hear Zach Mosley and I fucking talking. Um, Hey, Stephen Platinum, your friend in wrestling with the Deliverance Tour War Journal number 4. And it is 4 in the morning because Zach and I won't shut the fuck up and we keep talking about wrestling. This is what wrestling people do. We went we went bar hopping, literally bar hopping, because the first bar only had shepherd's pie. And this younger generation is too good for no, I was kind of glad we left as well. Especially once I heard that one lady singing Royals and killing it, which forced me to go up there and sing Kiss by Prince because I could not let that be the last song ringing in my ears or anybody else's. But then we went to another place. What was it called? Tipsy. She's so smart. McStumbles, yes, and we had the greatest time, and I was so proud. I was proud when they won a shirt. I was proud when they super kicked each other in the bar. I was proud when the asshole who bumped into Skrilla ended up buying everybody way too many shots. I was proud when phone numbers from hot bartenders were acquired. It made me proud, and then I was proud when Jeff G. Bailey called me up and we talked about what he did. But what did I do today? That's what this is about. So I was up so late with Ace and Amy Haven and Shane Knowles in the Waffle House parking lot in Jacksonville, Alabama. What the fuck is my life lately? That I got back to my gorgeous suite and I had a choice. I could get 2 hours of sleep, get up and go to Canton, Georgia, or I could get 5 hours of sleep. I chose 5 hours of sleep. I informed Dylan, who was perhaps going to try to meet me, and Gary, that I would not be there. Gary was very understanding. My God, he's putting on barbecue and brews. The last thing he was worried about is, oh no, Stephen Platinum won't be here to be a smarmy asshole and try to get brisket for free. So he was fine with it. So I went directly. I got there more or less on time and had a very nice early dinner, late lunch, courtesy of Timothy Blackman. But there were a number of notables there. And then off to the show I went. But first, I booked into this room, which is very nice. So if you're looking at that thumbnail picture and you're wondering, is that Zach? Is that Candy indeed in a bed in a hotel room that I originally acquired? The answer is yes. Is there freaky sex stuff going on? We are way too fucking tired. And when I say we, I just implied that the three of us would have freaky sex if we weren't tired. No. Excuse me, that's terrible. I shouldn't have said that. If for some reason Zach and or Candy gave me the Iggy that Steve, we want to bone, I would. There's a pool 2 doors down that I would go in right now. I would use that pool by myself. And you know why? Because they said the hours are only from 6 in the morning till 10 at night. And Stephen Platinum is all about fuck the rules. I'm going to go use that pool and it's going to be amazing. And then I would do my workout so I wouldn't have to do it tomorrow morning. In any case, went to the IWE show. I'm going to talk about more about this on full disclosure. Early impressions. They had a bigger crowd than they've ever had. They put on a better show than they ever had. They had higher levels of production than they've ever had. Was it a perfect show? There are lots of things to talk about, and lots of things I'm going to share with Timothy and Josh in the upcoming days privately. But I'm also going to talk about things that worked and didn't work in that show. But did I have a great time? Absolutely. Um, the biggest, the most fun that I had in a single match was the Ugly Ducklings and the Exotic Youth. I had a fucking ball. It was the match that show needed, and I'm here to tell you why. Um, they had used the same finish for the male scramble match. And by the way, Steve, don't say shit like this. Steve, don't say shit like this. Man Scout, fucking hate that fucking guy. God, I shouldn't say shit like that. I know it's gonna come back to me. I have no problem with Jake Manning. I've met him before. He was super nice. I will tell you a story one of these days about $5 wrestling with Colt Cabana and how he did it in conjunction with PCW and how insane it was and how cool it was, and then how Colt Cabana fucking Sami Zayn, Chris Hero, and then me and a bunch of the hotties from PCW went to go eat at a Steak and Shake after, and this is WrestleMania week. And the Steak and Shake took us 2 hours without giving us our food, even though the restaurant wasn't crowded, to the point where I got a respect for Sami Zayn because he kept his head, he kept calm, and he calmly explained to them, "Hey, we haven't gotten our food in 2 hours." I guess you're getting the fucking Patreon video right here. Fuck you, right? Sami Zayn calmly explains to them, "We haven't gotten our food." So eventually, everybody gets their food except for me and Maya. God bless you, Maya. Right? We didn't get our food, so they were like, "You're giving us a discount, 50% discount on our food because it took 2 hours to get to us. And these guys should get their food for free," but they said absolutely not. And I got to see Sami Zayn and Chris Hero, and Colt Cabana trying to look very, very calm and not flip out. So I have nothing but respect for those guys because they were super awesome, and that was a great time. Nonetheless, I thought the 4-woman match and then the scramble match with the guys had the same finish. So it's stuff like that that needs to be fixed and tweaked. And then there were sound issues and some cues that were missed. But it was the David Ali show. It's interesting that it was called Redemption and David Ali was front and center because every segment he did, he was bigger than life. Carly Bravo and him, I thought, wrestled a really good match. And David Ali came up to me right after and asked me how he really wanted to know how the match was. But I gotta say, Exotic Youth was phenomenal. And Ugly Ducklings. They needed a match that the crowd could just fall in love with and be invested in and would be complicated enough, yet the finish would be clearly understood, and babies would get thrown in the air, and orgasms would happen, and all of that happened. Not literally. Though Diana Michelle was there, so who knows? That was an awkward pause. And the main event was a hard hitting affair, and it was wonderful. And that venue really works for me. And James Caleb Kitchens actually did end up showing up, and we said hi and shook hands. And I couldn't stop staring at his head because I think he's bald, which is fine, but he's got these weird. His head is kind of weirdly shaped, and seeing it up close, like here's things that I thought when I would see pictures of people who I had never actually met, and then when I saw them in person. So I always thought James Caleb Kitchens had the kind of a weirdly shaped head, but then when I saw it in person, it wasn't as weirdly shaped. I thought Candy Cannoli was pretty good looking in pictures. And this is creepy because she's sleeping right over there. She's maybe vaguely listening too, so this part might creep her out even more, and it might even infuriate Zach, but it shouldn't. But she is much better looking in person. I was just like, wow, she's really striking looking, which makes you wonder, like, what the fuck is she doing with Zach? But then you hang out with Zach, and I go, like, I totally get it, because after I hung out with Zach, I realized his dick is enormous. So anyway, um, as anybody knows who I trained with, I part of your training was when Pandora would get booked against the NWA Women's Champion because nobody else wanted to wrestle that rough and ready bitch. I don't remember who her name was, but Pandora was the toughest bitch alive. And Pandora would take these road trips. I would take road trips when you got your first great booking. I would do the driving. I would show you how to fucking live and survive on the road and save money and all that kind of shit. And so getting to train again at PCW on Thursday was wonderful. Getting to actually do something in ring on Friday at Pro South was wonderful. Getting to do what I do, which is to really like help shows and promote them as I'm doing it and Twitter and show the video stuff and be around. People wanted to take their fucking picture with me. This has never happened. Multiple people who I did not know were like, "It's Stephen Platinum. Can I get a picture with you?" I don't know what to make of that. That means that like regular wrestling fans are listening to these videos, which amazes me because I fucking hate you. I fucking hate wrestling fans. How many times can I say fuck the fans before you guys give up? But you won't give up. And there's something to admire about that. That level of stubborn stupidity. So I admire you, stubborn, stupid people. Not really. Join my Patreon and I'll admire you just a little bit more. In any case, I guess, sorry, I keep going away from it. Exotic Youth, Ugly Ducklings. The way that match laid out, and then the finish, you could feel the energy in the room lift, and at that point, you could honestly say, without that, let's say that match just didn't exist. There's no guarantee it would have been a successful show, in spite of the things that had gone right, but because of some of the things that I thought were wonky. That match guaranteed that the show went off, that it was an undeniable, unqualified success. And then the capper was O'Shea Edwards against Billy Brash, which I thought was a great match and a great moment and hard hitting and putting each other on the mic, etc., etc. By the way, I'm going to have brunch tomorrow morning, which is now in just a few hours, which is crazy because, as I said, I'm probably going to have to go to the pool for a little bit and then work out. This joke, it ties back to the sex thing. I shouldn't explain the joke, but now that I know that wrestling fans watch this stuff, I know I have to explain things in blatant fashion because they're fucking idiots. So I'm gonna have this brunch tomorrow, and then I'm gonna be at GIPW. I haven't heard from any management at GIPW, which is not your fault. I just want to ensure that I don't have to pay to come to that show because, as I told Zach and them, there are two things that I will not pay for in this world: a wrestling ticket and a fucking T-shirt. And the pride I felt when what did Skrilla have to do to get him that shirt? What did he do to get that shirt? He had a power slam Pepper Bottom on the floor for Pepper Bottom to get that shirt that was like pro wrestling themed from that bar we were at, and they did it. And he got that. He really get that bartender's number? He got that hot bartender's number. But who? You know what he learned? Because he wanted to know her name. You know who got her name out of her in the slickest way possible? Of course your fucking boy did. How did I do it? You want to trade secret, loser men? I got her into this conversation where I was kind of making fun of her because she was being a little crazy, and but then she said, you got to watch the crazy ones, and I'm like, yeah, implying she's crazy, and she's like, I'm not crazy, and I said, all girls whose names start with A are crazy, and she goes, my name doesn't start with A, it's Eve, it starts with an E, and she's always all smug like I'm smarter than you, dummy. And then I looked at him as if to say, there, I got her name for you. Now just start calling her by her name. That will help. And on this day, his penis grew 3 sizes larger. Mm, 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 mm. It's how the Pepper Bottom stole Christmas. In any case, that's a great place to end this. I will be back with another Deliverance week. By the way, 4 states, 3 days. And today I crossed from Alabama into Georgia, from Georgia into South Carolina, and South Carolina back into Georgia. I crossed the border 4 fucking times, and I've been in 4 states in 3 days. You gotta love it. Tomorrow I'm going to be in Warner Robins eventually for GIPW. I'm going to spend the night there, and then it'll be back to Florida I go. My plan is I'm going to try to do full disclosure in the morning before I leave the hotel in Warner Robins. I have gotten so lucky with hotels so far. I think even Candy and Zach would agree that this place is very nice. It's very nice. It's very clean. By the way, hot breakfast in the morning and free cookies. And then perhaps I will smoke my first cigarette after we all don't have sex. In any case, this is Stephen Platinum. Oh my God, I almost said my real fucking name. Kayfabe, your friend in wrestling. And have a good ass time.